Hi everyone, this is Teacher Jen from camkush.com and welcome to another fun and exciting lesson from Exploring English Book 6. This is by Tim Harris and Alan Rowe. We are going to start our lesson on this page, and this is the review section. It means we're going to read the long story. So, you can see that our story is supported by this picture. This is a map of the mountains near the Wickham City. I'm going to read the story now. Please listen carefully, especially to my pronunciation. Also, try to comprehend the story because after that, you're going to have the chance to read the story on your own. Let's start now. For several months, there had been unusually heavy rainfall in the Crystal Mountains near Wickham City. The Pawnee River had risen several feet, and Bear Lake had increased to almost twice its normal size. Many residents of Wickham City were afraid that Hilton Dam would not be able to hold so much water. The dam had been built before the Second World War and needed to be reinforced. However, nothing could be done until after the rains had stopped. As each day passed, the people in the area became more and more worried. Last Friday, their greatest fear was realized. Hilton Dam burst, sending a great flood of water toward the sea. Wickham City wasn't hit by the flood, but many farmers in the surrounding area were forced to leave their homes. Communication was maintained by radio since most telephone lines had been knocked down. Dozens of calls for help were received, including an urgent message from Sarah Coggins. Her husband, Elmer, was very sick and needed medicine right away. The Coggins farm is located in Scenic Valley, about 20 miles north of the Crystal Mountains. Since the dam burst, it was impossible to send them supplies by land. The interstate highway couldn't be used because the bridge crossing the Pawnee River had been destroyed by the flood. City officials didn't expect to have it repaired before spring. A temporary bridge was being built, but it wouldn't be completed for at least a week. The old miners' road was flooded and couldn't be used either. And the interstate highway from Coulterville to Scenic Valley was closed because of heavy snowfall in the Silver Mountains. The only way to reach the Coggins farm was by air. Yesterday, a rescue mission was planned by the mayor of Wickham City. It was announced on the radio that Nancy Payne had been chosen to make the flight. She was the logical choice since she knew the area better than anyone else. By coincidence, Nancy had a special reason of her own for wanting to help the Coggins family. A few months earlier, she had crashed into the barn and Elmer had driven her over 50 miles to the nearest hospital. Although she hadn't completely recovered from her accident, she felt that she had to make the flight. Nancy was given a map and some medicine to take to Elmer. She was advised to fly around the Crystal Mountains as it was considered too dangerous to fly over them. A special plane was made ready for the flight. When Nancy got to the airport, the engine had already been serviced and the tank filled up with gas. A number of people were there to wish her luck. Nancy smiled and waved to her friends as she took off. Nancy's rescue mission was a success. She delivered the medicine to Elmer Coggins and returned safely to Wickham City. When she arrived at the airport, a large crowd was there to receive her. They all wanted to shake her hand and congratulate her on a job well done. Nancy was very tired, but she shook hands with everyone. She was considered a real heroine. Now, students, it's time for you to read the story again. To do that, you can pause the video for a while so that you can read the story. While you're reading, remember that you can read slowly so that you can understand the story as well and pronounce each word correctly. Now, This is your homework. I want you to answer the following questions. You can get a piece of paper, copy these questions, and answer them. Let's start now. What caused the dam to burst? How did the flood affect the farmers in the surrounding area? How was communication maintained? Why did Sarah Coggins send an urgent call for help? Where is the Coggins farm located? Why was it impossible to send supplies to the Coggins farm by land? What was the only way to reach the Coggins farm? Who was chosen to fly the rescue mission? What was Nancy's special reason for wanting to make the flight? What did Nancy deliver to Elmer? Why was Nancy considered a heroine? Now, talking about heroes, these questions are personal, so it's about saying your opinion. Answer this in a separate piece of paper. Have you ever heard about someone who risked his or her life to come to the aid of another person? Do you think there are more heroes in the movies or in real life? Who are your heroes? Why are they your heroes? Do you know of any cases when a person was in trouble and no one helped? Why do some people refuse to help others? What would you do if you saw another person in trouble? Would you know what to do if someone was having a heart attack or choking on a piece of food? Okay, now this is the end of our lesson. I hope you learned something. This is Teacher Jen from CamCrush.com saying goodbye and see you on your next video. Goodbye!